Hey guys, today we're gonna work on. Well, today we're gonna actually. I'm actually gonna give the. Today I'm actually excited to start working on a project that I've been actually working on for the last working on and off for the last 2.5 years. This is my cartoon capsules. Basically, what this is. Basically, what this is, I go back and I watch old shows, throwback shows from Disney. Uh, I go back and watch old shows from Disney, Nickelodeon, and Cartoon Network. How this is gonna work is uh, each season of each show I'm gonna watch is pretty much I'm gonna give different awards, and then I'm gonna pretty much rank rank the episodes at the end of the episode so you guys can see are gonna be able to see my first ranking. As you can see, my first ranking, this first episode is gonna be on the first season of SpongeBob. After I finish the first like 15 seasons of SpongeBob, we're gonna go to a different show on a different network. So here we go. Okay. Here's the here's the first season awards for here's the first season awards for for SpongeBob season one. Here are the awards for for SpongeBob season one. Starting off with st- starting off with the most out of pocket moment goes to Mr. Krabs from when he gave SpongeBob the squeaky boots after failing and trying to give them to Pearl for her birthday. The sec- the second uh, award is the biggest crash out of season one, and this one goes to Patrick from the Valentine's Day episode. Best musical moment goes to best musical moment and song goes to Fun because still feel like that song holds up today, and I still like listening to it. Most heartwarming moment of SpongeBob season one goes to to Squidward standing up standing up for SpongeBob after the customer made him cry. I thought that moment was super dope because you don't really see that too often from Squidward. We go down to the second row, and the weirdest episode was the weirdest episode of the season. Sure that the I think that does say it might say weirdest or strangest episode of the season goes to Rock Bottom. I actually really like that episode still because it was so different to what SpongeBob would normally do. I also feel like that would go really well as a Halloween episode. Same as these next two awards go to Mr. Krabs. So because he gets the biggest character L of season one, and he also gets the biggest karma moment. The best hollow, the best episode in Hall of Fame is it says Bubble Stand, but I'm gonna give it to Pizza Delivery. But Bubble Stand was a pretty entertaining episode. And now we go to the actual ranking. Starting in the lowest tier. Start, Starting in the lowest tier, we got Squidward, the unfriendly ghost. O- only because only because they I don't like the way Squidward tried to I don't like the way Squidward tried to trick Patrick and SpongeBob to make him think that he was dead. But it does pretty much make an entertaining episode. Uh, Only 9 points above that, we got Nature Pants. Only because I think SpongeBob acted really out of character. Just a point above that, we gave we gave Squeaky Boots 70 points because we gave Squeaky Boots 70 points because Mr. Krabs was out of pocket that whole episode. And now we can go over to the goods here where most of the good episodes are starting with with the tie at 73 between Sleepy Time, Boat School. Sleepy Time and Boat School were better episodes than the lower tier, only by well they beat well they beat Squidward the Unfriendly Ghost by 13 points, and they also beat Nature Pants by 4 points, and they beat Squeaky Boots by 3 points because I just like the concept of those. I just like the concept of those episodes. Continuing up in the good tier, we have Opposite Day, where Squidward tries to leave the neighborhood, and they also tells SpongeBob that it's Opposite Day, but that doesn't really go over what that doesn't really go in his favor. So I gave Opposite Day a 74. Up 1 point was the first episode was was the was was one of the first episodes. Reef Blower. I don't I don't really well I like that I like Reef Blower because it was a I feel like it was a kind of creative start to the series, and kind of because they had a whole episode with like no audio, so I feel like that was pretty cool. Up at 77, Plankton teaches SpongeBob how to be more assertive. I feel like we need I feel like SpongeBob needs to do more of Plankton and SpongeBob episodes. I feel like they did more of them in the earlier seasons, but not in the later seasons. At 78, we got Suds. At 81, we got Plankton. Plankton was a pretty good introduction to Plankton. Speaking of introductions, murder we got the first Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy episode, which was pretty good. That was a good introduction for those two characters to start off their arcs in the series. Um, and that's the end of the goods here. Now we go to the greats here, which is which is which is pretty much all of the 80s, which is pretty much all of the 80 which is pretty much all of the 80s, starting off with Fools and April that I gave a 84. The paper was pretty cool. It was pretty cool seeing how much cool stuff SpongeBob can do with paper. Help Wanted was pretty good because it was like the pilot episode. Sandy's Rocket was. I feel like Sandy's Rocket was a little bit better than Help Wanted because that's when they started to get more adventurous with the with with all the characters. Above that, we got Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy too. I feel like that was a pretty cool way to end the season, so I gave it an 88. Arg is where Mr. Crab gets addicted to the Flying Dutchman game, and Mr. Krabs, Mr. Krabs, SpongeBob and Patrick are become actual pirates to look for the real treasure of the Flying Dutchman. Above that is Scaredy Pants. That was a pretty cool Halloween episode. I think that's the only time that they have done a Halloween episode. Hall, Mon- Hall Monitor was a pretty cool episode. It was cool to see SpongeBob kind of walking around being a menace on accident, especially when he thought he was like helping people. See, jellyfishing was a pretty cool episode. That's where we got uh firmly grasp it. So yeah, I gave that an 88 as well. Home Sweet Pineapple was good because I thought well Home Sweet Pineapple was good because Squidward thought SpongeBob was actually gonna move until his house grew back. One thing that I didn't like about that episode was why was he celebrating? One thing that was funny about this episode was he was celebrating super hard. Now that we're done with the greats here, we can go into the elite episodes. Above that one, the first one, the first one in the elites here was I Was a Teenage Gary. That one was kind of a super weird. That one would have probably been a better or another good Halloween episode. It actually would have been good. It actually would have probably been paired good with Scaredy Pants. Above that one is Karate Choppers at 91. Muscle by Buff Pants was cool because um, SpongeBob was SpongeBob was lying through half of the episode. Naughty Nautical Neighbors was cool because you don't really get to see SpongeBob and Patrick beef that much. And you could tell Squidward just like that. Just you can tell Squidward just like that a lot. After that one, we got Tea at the Tree Dome. Tea at the Tree Dome in '93. That was another batch from the first three episodes. And then we go to Hooky. SB 129 was just one of those one of those classic episodes. The Chaperone was pretty cool. I enjoy watching that one. Like I said before, Rock Bottom was pretty good. I gave that one a 97. Culture Shock was fun. Pickles was fun. Valentine's Day was fun. That was one of the ones that I didn't expect to be that I would enjoy that much. So I gave Culture Shock 97. I gave I gave The Chaperone 95. Rock Bottom 97. I gave Culture Shock 95. Rock Bottom 97. I gave Rock Bottom 97, Culture Shock 97, Pickles 98, Valentine's Day 99, and Jellyfish Jam 90. Jellyfish Jam was pretty good because of the music at the end. And now we go into the Hall of Fame. Now we go into the Hall of Fame tier to finish this first batch of SpongeBob episodes off. Number six. Number six is Texas because they really, I feel like they really did a good job with Texas, and they really made people. Well, they really made Patrick and SpongeBob trick Sandy into. I just felt like that was a well balanced SpongeBob episode. Also, another well balanced SpongeBob episode was Employee of the Month, where they made SpongeBob actually care. Where they made Squidward actually care about winning Employee of the Month. Fun was a little bit different of an episode because they made SpongeBob be be Plankton's friend. One thing about that is I think that they I think that I think that Plankton was actually telling the truth to SpongeBob that all he all he wanted was a friend. He was just trying to cover it up. But we'll wait and see what happens with that in season two. Third place is pizza delivery, which I think it deserves a third place for the story and the song alone, and what Squidward did for SpongeBob at the end. Number two for this season is Ripped Pants. Once again, the song is like absolutely goaded, and I think number one is Bubbles. Then, at least in my book, because I feel I feel like they kind of started getting into their stride, even though it didn't really take the people that work on SpongeBob a long time back then to get into this, and hopefully it's not just downhill from here. So yeah, my favorite episode from season one is Bubbles Stand, mostly because of the technique. So yeah, that's pretty much the end of the video, and yeah, I'll probably see you guys in the next one. We probably won't do season two until probably won't start season two until next Saturday. So the next cartoon capsule episode won't be until the following Saturday. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.